all Iraqis have suffered in the last 6 years, but specifically minorities like the Christians, the Yazidi, the Shabbak, the Turkman have been subjected to extreme violence. And as the occupation, this is something also misunderstood, I think, in the West. The way they portray Iraqi society is Sunni, Shia, and Kurd, but it's two completely different concepts. There is one that is religious, the other that is ethnic. The Kurds, they are either Shia or Sunni, and the Sunni and Shia, they are either Arab, Kurd, or Turkman. You see, they put at the same level something confessional and something ethnic. So you cannot understand, you cannot analyze the situation inside Iraq if you adopt the terminology of the occupation.
As you know, Iraq is, as I said, a country, a multi-ethnic country with a majority of Arabs, of course, that the neocons have tried their best to just get over that majority. Do not mention that Iraq is a majority. Iraq is the Arab country with a majority of Arab people. They just come with this invention that Iraqi people are Sunni, Shia, and Kurds, as we mentioned. By saying that, a lot of people right now, when they think of Iraq, they say, Sunni, Shia, and Kurd. Where are Arabs? 65–70% of Iraq are Arabs. Who is speaking of Arabs right now? I am not Arab, but Arabs are my compatriots. I am just normal to say that Arabs are the majority of Iraqi people. They have always been the majority of Iraqi people. And since 2003, we are talking of Sunni and Shia and Kurd, as Iraq is Sunni, Shia, and Kurd, which is completely misleading. And unfortunately, of course, the conception of Sunni, Shia, and Kurd was not just per accident. It was per design in order to bring the tragedy to Iraqi people. So I am Iraqi first. I am born in Kirkuk. I am from the Turkman community of Iraq, which is in importance is the third community in Iraq after the majority of Arabs. Then a minority Kurds. We are the third minority or the second minority of the Iraqi people in importance. This is to situate define the Turkmen. Our living area, we have a region, a Turkmen region. In actual fact, it extends from the northwest border of Iraq with Syria in a place called Tel Afar, and comes back through Erbil, Altın Köprü, Kirkuk, Tuzhurma to Mandeli until Badra, the border, Iranian border. And this region, in actual fact, was a kind of separating the 100% Arab region from 100% Kurdish region in Iraq. In Kirkuk, in that area, in the oil field, they have the definition fields which are giant field and super giant field. And in Kirkuk area, the biggest, one of the biggest giant super field of the Middle East is underneath Kirkuk and surrounding. We have in the north our Kurdish compatriots. They represent effectively a minority. We can say they represent 13–14% of the Iraqi people. And the Kurds, they are not only in Iraq, they are in an area where some of them are in Iran, some of them are in Syria, some of them are in Turkey. In Iraq, Iraqis have given them naturally the cultural rights by admitting that the to form what is called the Kurdish Autonomous Region, that gives them the cultural rights in order to deal with their people and their language in their area. That even if it is not a privilege, it is a right. That right has not been given to other Kurds, neither in Syria, nor in Iran, nor in Turkey. So the Iraqis, in reality, they showed themselves that they are more just with their people than the neighboring countries as far as the Kurds concerned. After the autonomous region was established, the ambition of some politician in the Kurdish community is, well, if we have the autonomy, why not push further for further rights? What is the further rights after the cultural autonomy is complete autonomy, eventually independence and separation. Well, to separate and independence, you need to have a country that is viable. So the wealth of oil is there, and that is something which pushed them to do their propaganda as well as their effort in order to control that area, eventually to be support for their project in the future, to form an independent state and separate from Iran.
I want to point to something very important. When we say that we Iraqis, because a tradition we are equal. The constitutions in the past, when in the Ottoman period, the last before the modern state of Iraq, Muslims are equal, and Christians and Jews have their rights. They have their rights, religious rights, and the Ottoman created a kind of a system. It's called a system of milal, that they judge their own affairs, but in work they're equal. One of the deputies in the Ottoman from Iraq in Ottoman parliament or something like this was a Jew. The constitution of 1925 it was a kind made by the Christians, by the British. It was a kind of secular constitution where people were equal. And this kind of equality, it is rooted until there was a problem of the Turkman, who some consider them some Turks, and in the constitution, the amendment of the constitution, 1931, I think, with the independence, Turkey didn't give the Iraq Mosul without insisting on the rights of minorities. It was guaranteed in the constitution. And the